in the collective works of Carl Jung. He states, "By shadow, I mean the negative side of the personality, the sum of all those unpleasant qualities we like to hide, together with the insufficiently developed functions and the contents of the personal unconscious." The end of 2022 is set to be a turbulent and interesting time of yet more change in the collective and world stage. As we have witnessed in the events of 2020 unfold, and the mass psychosis as conveyed in the works of Gustave Le Bon play out for those with the sanity to see, a spiritually devoid, unconscious population is due another dose, while they happily receive their new normal, just as in the schizoid individual within the collective shadow will display and punish. This is the inevitability of an unhealthy and immoral society. For the outsider, the errant, the show will and must go on. The individuated is non-reactive because they know fear is the tool of control. Without it, the puppeteers have no strings. This is the power of those who are sovereign and have self-mastery over their body and consciousness. An immortal can never fear death because it is the door of transmutation and the opportunity to expand consciousness, character, and will. As for the disempowered, hypnotized average citizen, who has become nothing more than a corporate fiction, happily loving their enslaved servitude, they will yet again pay for their willful ignorance. I now finally realize why Jesus said, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." There is always a price to pay for being unconscious, even if it's unintentional. Religion, it is said, to be the opium of the people. Today, it is the religion of consumerism, sexual perversion and promiscuity, artificial foods, oh yeah, the science, excessive alcohol and Netflix. The human body, since the latter part of the 20th century, has become a commodity sold and traded on the stock market, hiding behind occult corporate logos, enabled by the birth certificate as a bonded, bound, and bona fide in the life blood. Deceive a population long enough and they happily begin to deceive themselves, done by allowing their false self-image to be automated and unconsciously run by artificial ignorance. Well, that's AI for you. The shadow is like an unconscious personality with some level of autonomy, as it is a separation formed within the psyche. Its integration and unity to the whole within the individual is the only remedy. Being the first archetype, it reveals feelings, motives, and behaviors which the conscious self disowns. Jung goes on to state, "The shadow is a moral problem that challenges the whole ego personality, for no one can become conscious of the shadow without considerable moral effort. To become conscious of it involved recognizing the dark aspects of the personality as present and real. This act is the essential condition for any kind of self-knowledge, and it therefore, as a rule, meets with considerable resistance. This resistance that Jung writes about is linked to Wilhelm Reich's view that psychic illnesses, being the result of a disturbance of the natural ability to love. For me, the self and soul is one and the same. The energy to connect to the soul is life. Life is love. Love is the mother. God as mother is love. God as Father is wisdom. May you have the love of wisdom and the wisdom to truly love. May your mind and heart be in peace and work as one, in unity and in harmony. The Oversoul is connected to those who connect to their souls. The difference between the truthful ones and those who walk like the dead with their shallow personas is spiritual depth. It is those who have the courage to break the cycle of trauma and live for their love of truth, where true freedom thrives in the responsibility to life. I've made the choice. The media is my enemy. I turn away from it to feed my own life with creativity, love and grace, and hold sacred the divine energy of life. This life that flows in my veins and lights my spirit. For love does not war, and wisdom does not force itself on the uninitiated. Love flourishes and thrives the barren. Wisdom strengthens the weak. Together they vanquish all evil and give light to the bleak, the sexual magic of life, embracing the darkness with fearless, tender delight. The eternal flower, the creative power that does not dwell in a tower, instead within those who do not cower in the final mortal coiled hour. O shadow, your wisdom is loved. I have learned so. Return to the all of eternity that is within me. Like death, you are not a final destination. I have died 1,000 deaths and will die 1,000 more for the immortal soul to be born with the name of all. I draw breath, for I am grateful. Fires of spirit and waters of soul, eternal.